Hi, I'm Jen from JenThereDoneThat, and we are back with additional updates in April 2021. So on April 15th, we just had a new executive order to our previous executive order that was amended. So this is going to start on April 17th until May 9th, the travel restrictions here in Puerto Rico. So let's get into them. The curfew is still 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. That changed last week. We're still on the 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. One of the biggest changes is that they're now having exclusions for health situations, including folks that are vaccinating and people that are getting vaccinated, including drivers and anything accompanying people to go get vaccinated. So they're still pushing the vaccinations. There's plenty of opportunities to sign up and get your vaccination appointment. Mine is tomorrow, so I'll be going in for my first shot tomorrow, and they are allowing additional time for folks if for some reason the vaccinations go later than curfew or you line up earlier than curfew begins. There won't be any problems with that. People have also asked me if they arrive later, if their flight arrives later than curfew, you will be allowed to go directly to your hotel, just nothing will be open. We'll get into that in just a second. But the airlines cannot respond fast enough for our executive orders, and things are changing very quickly around here, as I mentioned in my last video. So there could be even more changes between now and May 9th based on our cases and how things are going. Greater restrictions on trade and restaurants. They're reducing it from 50% capacity back down to 30% capacity. So if you need dinner reservations, you might need to get those in. There's going to be fewer tables available, and the wait staff is going to try to do their best to get you in, but this is a great opportunity for you to do takeout and other restaurant options. The restaurants are still required to enforce the 6 feet between tables. It looks like there's going to be a lot more enforcement for that coming up here real soon. Government agencies are still going to be open. They say they're still going to be providing services to citizens, but remote work is at the discretion of the agency manager. So if you have an appointment to get a driver's license or you have some government appointment, double check that, because they may be moving those to online, or they may be reducing those appointments, or things may have changed. The enforcement aspect, Governor Pierluisi is urging private establishments to register with the Municipal Health Case Investigation and Tracking. They are going to be doing contact tracing more closely now. Every establishment must comply. They must comply with the protocols of the CDC and the additional restrictions that we have here on the island. Casinos and movie theaters are still going to be open. They have to drop down to that 30% capacity. In fact, all businesses. So if you haven't gone to the grocery store and stocked up, you may want to get out there early or off-peak times before curfew, because it's only going to be at 30% capacity. One of the other big changes is for boats. They are restricting what we consider the tie-ups. So multiple boats can't tie up next to each other. The boats need to be spaced apart, and they are not allowed to anchor within 200 feet of the beaches or the actual island. This applies for inlets, cayos, everything. So all of the parties that we saw at La Paguera just a few weeks ago, where boats were right in the shallow water, very, very close to the shore, are no longer allowed. It's prohibited, so 200 feet. This may impact if you have any kind of boat excursion planned, if you're doing any kind of day sail. They will be restricted on where they can anchor for your day trip. Of course, masks are still required. They must cover your nose and mouth at all times. 6 feet of distance between everyone while you're in public, and they are going to be doing stricter enforcement. We still have the $100 fine for not wearing your mask, and now that they are saying they're going to do more of the contact tracing, those folks that say they're quarantining and are actually out, you're gonna get busted, so don't. If you say you're gonna quarantine, you actually need to quarantine. And if you want to avoid quarantining, then you need to get your negative PCR molecular test within 72 hours of arriving to the island. They are offering the $110 tests at the airport for SJU, that's the San Juan Luis Marin Airport. Ponce and Aguadilla are both now open, but I don't believe that they have the on-site COVID testing in place yet. They have added the thermal imaging at SJU and a whole bunch of other safety protocols. So we are seeing very good things at the airport, but you still must arrive with that negative PCR COVID test. For the most part, we're still seeing the same Vieques and Culebra ferries are allowed. There's no changes to that at this point. COVID cases are rising, and this is the response. We're told that these restrictions will be in place until May 9th, but depending on the vaccination rollout and our critical cases, that may change. The good news is more people are having less severe COVID, so it is much less life-endangering. We've had much fewer deaths, and very few folks are on ventilators or hospitalized at this time. The hospitalizations could go up because we do have cases rising every single day, which is why our last executive order was only in place for 1 week before they enacted the additional restrictions. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos from Jen There, Done That, with breaking news here in Puerto Rico, the Caribbean, and beyond.